Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. This is Yoga Online, March 26th, 2020. We're going to start the way we always start. Your knees are bent, feet on the floor, or you can have your feet up on a chair. You need to put a stack of washcloths under your head so you feel neutral in your cervical spine. And let's start with the vagus nerve reset. So put your hands behind your head and interlace your fingers and just let your occipital ridge, the base of your skull, rest in your clasped hands. That's just to keep everything stable. So you're not going to move anything but your eyeballs, but shift your eyeballs to the right. And wait for a sigh, swallow, gulp, or yawn. Come back to center. Shift your eyeballs to the left. And wait for a sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Come back to center and repeat that 2 more sets, right, left, without my cueing. This is the best distressor I know, best, quickest distressor. Everything we do is going to be a stress reduction practice. Go ahead and bring your hands down by your side. And start to notice your breath. We're just going to go into a breath work practice. Just breathing in and breathing out. And noticing the breath. So we're not trying to change the breath, just trying to become aware of it. It may change for any number of reasons, including your awareness. And then let's go ahead and massage the diaphragm, which is you can find by hooking your fingers around the bottom of your rib cage and just pressing in. Hi, Barb.
Hi.
So just press, create a little, your fingers are digging into, you don't want to dig into your organs, which are below your rib cage. You want to dig in to the edge of the rib cage and take your fingers and press down and underneath, back up under the rib cage. You can go all the way along the front of the bottom of the rib cage, coming back and forth. You can do one hand at a time or both hands. This is a great way to improve the capacity of your diaphragm to breathe deeply. If you find a spot that's especially tender, well, you can either avoid it because it's so tender, or you can stay there because it's so tender. Listen to your own advice. When I first started doing this at the far right of my rib cage, I had this really sore area, but it's gone away. And then go ahead and breathe here. So leave your fingers digging underneath your rib cage, and then inhale, your fingers will pop, it'll push your fingers back out. And then exhale and the fingers come back. So about 6 breaths.
Oh, I missed those.
Feels good? And let me say to Phyllis and Barb, if you could adjust your screens so that I can see your body. I can see Barb a little bit, but Phyllis, I can't see you at all. And unless you intend me not to see you at all, then that's a whole other story. But if I can see you, then I might occasionally be able to check on you, just so you make you be I'll pin your video up and look and see how you're doing. Okay, well, that's the scoop on that. Of course, when we stand up or are seated, you'll have to adjust your screen, but that's later. Let's go ahead and do ribcage breathing. So you've massaged your diaphragm. Hook your hands around the bottom of your chest at the bottom of the rib cage, and the thumbs are down and the fingers are up. And just breathe into your hands. Inhale, and then the hands are a way to monitor the rib cage breath. So inhale and exhale, and inhale and exhale.
Can you see me? Do I need to be further away? I don't understand.
I couldn't hear you. So repeat that again.
Can you see me?
Oh, I can only see, can you see the picture, your little picture? If you look at the screen, I can only see a little bit of you. I can't see the mat, for instance. I can't see the mat underneath you. So you could either scooch away from the screen. That's a little better. It's not 100 per. Scooch a little farther away. Maybe a lot farther away.
Okay, a little better.
Look at the screen, because now look at the screen and maybe you'll see. I can see you, except I can't see the very bottom of you. I can only see the top of your face and then the rest of your body. So you still need to either move the camera farther away from you or your body farther away from the camera. Yes, it's better. It's not, I don't know why, how far away are you from the screen, Kathy or Barb? How far away?
I don't know, about 4 feet. I'm about 6 feet.
Okay, so that's how far you need to be, I think. It's 4 feet or 6, longer than, farther than you imagined, I think.
Okay, let's try that.
Well, I hate to tell you this, Phyllis, but now you have totally disappeared from the screen.
I don't know. Okay, this is crazy.
Let's just leave it for now because we're going to be moving to a seated position anyway, and I'll be asking you to adjust. And this is a, this is something that you get with practice. So, and it's one of the disadvantages, I guess, of what I'm doing. If I were sitting and teaching, I would be the only one making the adjustments. But I have a model, and this is one of the options for teaching, so, which I like. So finishing breath work up, finish rib cage breathing, and go ahead and we'll do head ramping. So put your hands behind your head, Kathy. So, and Phyllis, the most important person on the screen is the model, is Kathy. So just so you know, I mean, it's nice, but not necessary for me to see you on the screen. And some people just don't even pin a video, they stop their video. So head ramping, just go ahead, before you start ramping, just go ahead and glide, do what's called the C1 glide. Your head goes about 10, your skull rolls backward over C1, the top of your cervical spine, about 10 degrees, and then it comes forward 10 degrees. And it comes backward. If you have a set of therapy balls, you could be lying on those and it would be like a fulcrum and it would help, but that's just optional. Back and forth, this is called the C1 glide. And think of your cervical spine as not moving. And the skull as moving, the moving component here. This is the most mobile joint, or the most longing for mobility joint of the cervical spine, this top one. And now we're going to do the head ramping. So put your hands behind your head. And this time, it's the same shape as with your hands as we did with vagus nerve reset. This time you're going to press the back of your skull into your hands and hold for a couple breaths. The chin will drop because you've pressed the back of your skull into your hands. This is chin tuck with resistance. You're strengthening and creating mobility at the same time, which is always true if you do something with resistance. So you're resisting, the hands aren't moving, but they're pressing into the head. The head is pressing into the hands. You're holding at the top and breathing. And do that a couple more times. let's stop that movement and go into a basic hypopressive movement. Go ahead and put your washcloths back behind your head, the stacked washcloths. Bring your arms up as if you're hugging a tree with your arms in front of your armpits, and then flip the hands over and press the palms up in towards the ceiling. Press the scapula back into the floor. So your arms are active, your toes are towards the ceiling, you've dorsiflexed your feet. Take 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hold your breath out. No breath. Spread your rib cage, the belly scoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and extend your legs and bring your arms up by your ears and stack your hands. Your right ankle over your left ankle. And so your right ankle is on top, but your left hand is on top. So stack your hands and the left hand on top. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. I've lost track. We'll do one more. Inhale. And exhale. Hold your breath out. No breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Before we do the next one, I want to show you, I want to try to cue Kathy. So Kathy, your hands are not lying on the floor. They're, put your hands out in front of you, like this, and up by your chest so I can see them. And the palms are facing up, and the right hand is stacked on top of the left hand. It's like that. Now bring that up overhead. Bring that position overhead. That's where you're, yeah.
Okay.
It's much more strenuous, much more movement in that. And then straighten your arms. Yes. And switch your feet to the other side. And dorsiflex your toes towards your nose. Inhale, 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. I did it again, so one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. No breath. Hold your breath out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And inhale and exhale. Just stretch and wiggle. And then come up to a floor-seated position. I'm going to review all of the floor seating positions with you, and then I'll ask you to choose one while we do some shoulder work from a floor seated position. So the first position, first most common one probably, is crossed legs. And if you like crossed legs, you could sit on a blanket or a brick. Especially if it's a little uncomfortable, but you like the idea of it, then put yourself up on a brick. So this is, you know, probably the most common one, but some people really like, and I'll show you this next time. Thank you for demonstrating this. This will help if your hips are tight. So let me say before we go into the next one that you can start to practice good posture, seated good posture here. You can start with bringing your arms up into a cactus position so that you can open your chest to the optimum amount for you. You can bring your arms out in front of you with a ball or a brick or something. So your spine is straight. You're sitting up and move on your sits bones, not your tailbone. And what else? Oh, and then the other thing you can put your hands behind you on the floor, touching the floor. Oh, not for you, not in your hands. Well, if you get off the brick, I think you can touch the floor. And then, but you don't want to lean back. You're just, the hands behind you help you straighten your spine and open your chest. So finding a seated good posture, but it's not a sit back on anything. We'll do something similar to that later, but not now. Those are the 3 ways that you can find good posture in a floor seated position or practice good posture. The next one is I'll show you, or Kathy's going to show you, is an S or a Z. So one knee is forward and the other knee is out to the side. And you're a little asymmetrical here because you are. And if you wanted to, you could put something under, like a washcloth or something under one of your hips, or a brick maybe. So that you feel more upright. And you can look at Kathy, now she's more upright than she was with that adjustment. So you can do the same thing about putting your hands out in front of you with holding a ball or a brick. You could bring your arms into cactus. You can put your hands behind you. Any of those things is going to help you create a good posture in a floor seated position. The next one is going to be knees forward and so come up off of your, let's see how, come up onto all fours. It's like you're going into a quadruped or a child's pose, but what you're doing is sitting back on your heels. So this is comfortable for some people and not for others. You might want to take your knees a little wider and put a brick between, sit on a brick here. In fact, if I'm doing this position, I like sitting on a brick. So, but this, you can see this is a very nice floor seated position. I'm encouraging you while you're at home to sit on the floor a lot. And then the last one is bring your knees in front of you and with your feet flat on the floor and sit tall. And you can, this way you can use your hands to bring yourself up into, the hands around your knees to bring yourself up into the seated position, into a better seated position. You can't hold onto a ball in front of you from this position. You can put your hands, yeah, there's another position, huh? You can put your hands behind you. You could sit like this, like a butterfly. Choose your best seated position. We're going to do some shoulder work from a seated position. I want to see, what's your favorite seated? Let's see, you're cross-legged. Barb is cross-legged. I can't see.
I'm butterfly.
You're butterfly. Okay. All
For
right.
me, it's either this or this.
For your favorites. Yeah.
Actually, I like this.
Okay.
Oh, what happened to me?
The
Uh-oh.
video went off, but I don't, and so did Barb's.
I
Yeah.
think there's this poor internet.
Yeah, I think the internet's overloaded.
Yeah.
Well, there's Kathy. Okay, I'm going to pin Kathy. The first thing we're going to do is cactus to W. So cactus arms up, make them 90 degrees, try to get 90-degree angle, and see if you can find some openness across your chest. And then slowly bring your elbows down toward the floor, like a W. So it's going to be up, and just do this a couple times. Feel some resistance while you're doing it. Feel the back of your, just the muscles that are between your scapula. You should feel you're using these muscles. And this is a great move. Do 2 more for posture. And a number of other things. And then just go ahead and relax your hands or shake them, because that might be a little strenuous on your back. Barb, you're still there, right? Even though you.
Yes, yes, I am.
Okay, good.
You should be able to restart video. That's what I did.
Yep.
Okay, so the next one we're going to do, so I'm doing in sets. Notice I try to teach in triplets, sets of 3, so that you might remember them all together. And I actually have class notes, so I'm going to have a recording, and then I have class notes. I think I'll put the class notes in the same file that I put the recording, and I can send you a link. It'll be one link, and you can go to it every time and see all the class notes and all the videos for these. So that'll help you if you want to do this. Not on a Monday or a Thursday, or not at 10:30 on a Monday or a Thursday. Okay, so the next one is, I want you to bend your elbow just like you did, let's just start with the right one, and then bring it forward in front of you. So 90 degrees, and then put the other hand on your elbow. So opposite hand on the elbow. We're going to do a resistance movement here, and I want you to, you start by opening up a little bit. So go out and then come across. You're doing this with resistance, always resisting, always moving. Come across as far as you can come, and then open up. And remember that you're resisting. Keep your both elbows high. Keep your left elbow high, Kathy. Yes, and pull. And it's as if you let go, you would snap, because you're creating resistance in both directions. Backward, this is for stretch. Across, and then out is for strength. And you're working on the deltoid muscle and the upper back. And just do 3 more of these. So always resisting and always moving. And last one. And switch sides. Hold on, you can go out a little bit to start, and then come pull back in. So pull the bent elbow back, and keep your other elbow lifted. Yep, that's part of the work.
Dancing.
All right. So be sure you're sitting tall and breathing. And going out and then pulling back in. And remember, you're always resisting. So the bottom hand is resisting the opposite elbow. The opposite elbow is resisting the bottom hand. That's probably enough of that. Shake it out. You can wiggle your shoulders. We're going to do another one, another resistance, Kihara resistance stretch called, at least fondly by some of us, Saturday Night Fever. So you're going to start by putting your right hand on the opposite knee. Yes. Now you're sitting tall. The left hand on the wrist of the right hand, the back of the wrist. And now you're pulling up and across. So you're pulling up and across over to the other side, right? So start down at the bottom and you're resisting. So the one hand is resisting the other hand, right? But you're going up and across. And then you're coming down. When you come down, drop your head towards your hands. Drop your head towards your shoulder, towards the hands. So this is so we're adding a neck stretch, Kathy. Pause, drop your head towards your shoulder, and then a little forward. Oops, you know what, I have it the wrong way. Hold on, you're gonna drop away from your hands. Drop your head away from your hands. And then if you want, so you can just play around with this, right? And find a nice stretch. And then come on up. Up you go. And then down, when you reach your knee, then stretch away. But keep both arms straight. No, keep the front arm straight. The back arm can be a little bent. You should feel this along the entire arm that's straight in front of you. So once you've arrived at the bottom, then you're going to drop your head towards that shoulder. Can you look forward a little bit more, Kathy? So I think it's interesting. I'm not sure of the filming angle, but you shouldn't be dropping totally forward. You should be angling to the right. Yes, it feels more like that. And then once you've found that, you can drop your head a little bit or even look up. And then come on back. Do a couple more of those. Down you go. Now, take your head. Take the time to do your neck stretch, because that's an important piece of this movement. And then switch sides, everybody. This is called Saturday Night Fever. Switch sides. Up you go. Down you go, always resisting both directions. Take some time at the bottom for your neck stretch. And then keep moving. So in Kihara resistance, you're always moving and you're always resisting. And even if you stop at the bottom, you're not moving your hand, but your head is moving. So you're always doing a little bit of movement. And if you want to, when you're at the top, you can pull your arm out a little bit from your socket to get a little more intensity and focus in the stretch as it's coming down. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So pull it out of the socket just a little bit and then come down, resisting all the way. Do one more of those. You might be tired of that. And stop. Shake it out. You can shrug your shoulders. Shake your hands. We're going to do 3 more seated shoulder work. This one is you're going to sit with your knees underneath you, if you can.
Your knees underneath like this?
Yes, like that, and you could sit on a brick if you wanted to. Sit tall, bring your hands behind you. This time, you're going to roll yourself up into a little ball, sort of. This is like a cat-cow, only it's seated. So you're gonna roll forward and pull your belly in, and then you're gonna open up. Keep your hands behind you though, Kathy. So on the floor. And then roll, and then open up, open your chest, lift your chin up if you want to. So you're opening all the way up. Let me see if I can, I don't know whether I'm going to be any better than Kathy, but I'm going to pin my video for a minute. Can everybody, but you guys might have to, when I pin my video, does it change for you, or do you have to change?
No. We have to change it.
Oh, okay. Change to pin my video. And
Question,
what?
how do you modify this if you can't sit very long in that position?
Which position, what position are you in?
Like on my knees,
On your
like Kathy
knees,
is,
your knees.
right?
You can try this with, you can try this squatting instead if you want.
Okay, so I still see Kathy.
Did you change to me? Did you change in video to me?
No.
Well, then, and Barb, what about you?
You blocked me from video, so I've tried to change my video, but it won't let me. So I am pinned to you.
Well, I've even asked you to start your video.
You should have a,
No, it's fine. I did that before, but it said the host was blocking me, so I just let it go.
Oh, okay.
No,
So now if you pin me, I'm going to try to do.
I have you pinned.
Okay.
okay.
Okay, here I am. I'm going to fold forward. If I get back further, fold forward. And then I'm going to open up.
Oh, okay.
And then fold forward. So this is cat-cow. And then you're doing this very slowly, resisting as you move. So imagine that you're resisting as you move. You roll forward, close in. You should feel some ab work there. And then you open up. And if you want to, you can look up at the ceiling. But I wouldn't do too much hyperextension. And then roll forward. And then open up. So this is a really nice way to open up the chest, basically. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So I'm going to pin Kathy back. I recommend you guys pin Kathy back.
I got to pin myself back.
Yeah, everybody pin Kathy back. Let's see if I cued it well for Kathy and for anybody. Now, how are you doing, Phyllis? Because you said it's hard for you to sit on your knees, so did you find another position you could do?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you probably do this cross-legged or something else. But the idea is to roll in, close in like a little turtle, and then open up. And if you want, you can take your head back a little bit. I do not recommend doing anything extreme with basically, it's called extension of the cervical spine. But a little bit of looking up at the ceiling. The idea.
Yeah, it works. With the leg.
I'm going to mute everybody because I'm getting an echo, but the idea is this is mainly a movement to open up the chest. And the back, though. Can you see that when you roll forward, you can feel a stretch along the back. Come back to seated, to whatever seated position you can spend a little time in. We're going to do a seated spine twist. So from wherever you are, whatever you choose, floor seated, sit tall. And we're going to start at the right. So the right scapula retracts towards the spine. And then the left hand goes over to the opposite knee. And the left scapula protracts away from the spine. Go ahead and turn your chin towards your shoulder. Sit tall, take some breaths here. This is a spinal twist, a thoracic spinal twist. And then coming back to center and the other side. So we're going to the twist to the left. The scapula on the left moves towards the spine. The scapula on the right moves away from the spine, and the right hand goes across the body onto the knee. This is your scapula spine twist. Be tall, become tall, and take your chin to the left. And breathe. And then come on back to center. And let's do that one more time. So twist to the right. Scapula, right scapula retracts, left scapula protracts. Sit tall, chin goes to the right. And come on back. And go to the other side. Left scapula retracts, right scapula protracts. Sit tall, chin to the left. Take some breaths. Come back to center. Put your right hand on the floor, on the mat. Take your left hand up and over, side bend, seated side bend. Your right elbow may bend as you curve. Depending on you, you may be able to take it down pretty far. And then come on back and switch sides. I've got to go. Go ahead and spend some time there and then come back and repeat it. I had to let Frida into the drawer, the cupboards underneath the bathroom sink, which is where she likes to hide. She has a little basket there she hides in while she's adjusting to her new living space. But if the door isn't open, which it isn't most of the time, then she starts pushing against it and making noises on it. And last side, last side. And come on back. I'm gonna let you vote. We're running out of time. I don't have enough for all of the things on my class notes, but so would you like to do some prone movements, or would you like to stand up and do some balancing footwork? Up, you wanna go up? Okay, let's stand up. Anyone else voting? Let's see, of course I've muted these people and then let's make them talk. You wanna go up? So come up to standing, please. Find a counter, a railing, a chair, a wall, or any safe point. And you'll have to adjust your screens, Kathy especially. Now, Kathy, how far away are you from here? When you're standing, and I want to see you, how far away do you get from your computer? 8 feet? That'd be a long ways. The first thing we're going to do, that's pretty good, Kathy, I think. Take your socks off, everybody, please. First thing we're going to do is short foot. So with your standing in good posture with parallel feet and toes pointed forward. You're going to start on the right and lift your toes. Spread the toes and then drop them and press on the toe pads and take some breaths. Short foot. You should feel a contraction along the bottom of your foot. And then release. And let's stay on this side and do it 2 more times on this side. So lift your toes, spread them, drop them, press on the toe pads, and stay here and take a couple breaths. Allow the plantar the plantar fascia to work. Allow all of that work to happen underneath the bottom of the foot. Come back and we'll do one more. Lift your toes on the right, spread them, and then drop them and press on the toe pads. If you look down and you're using the metatarsals, then either do less pressure, or you can actually just try to release the metatarsal so that you make sure you emphasize the toe pads. Go to the left side. Lift the toes on your left foot. Spread them. Lower them. Press the toe pads into the mat or the floor or the book. Take some breaths here. And then repeat. Lift, spread, lower, press the toe pads into the floor. Stand up taller, Kathy, with your, and see if you can find the connection between your feet and your glutes and your core. This is designed to enhance or increase that connection. Short foot. One more time, lift your toes, spread your toes, lower your toes, press on the toe pads. See if you can find a link, the connection between your core and your feet. And then go ahead and come down off your book, Kathy, and we're gonna do heel lifts. So find and add a therapy ball if you have one. So find a chair or a safe point. Stand in front of it or behind it, whichever orientation, it's actually behind the chair, I guess. And you don't need to touch the safe spot if you don't have to, but it's there for you. And your feet are parallel. Don't use the therapy balls until you do about 3 or 4 of them without the therapy balls. So go ahead and just lift your heels. So the heels go up. Stand in good posture. Lift your heels and lower them. And lift and lower. And lift and lower. Nice, nice, very nice. And now add your therapy ball between your heels. Still try to get good posture. Up and down you go. So you might want to get your feet a little closer to the chair, Kathy, so you don't have to fold forward when you come up. Up you go. Now the ball between the ankles actually also helps with that core connection. So you may notice that when you do this. And then get rid of the ball and balance on one foot. So stand on the right foot or the left. And then hook the other foot around your ankle. And then stay here and breathe. Very nice. Your hands may start to open up and move. That's because they're helping you with your balance. That's not a bad thing. And switch sides, everybody. So when you're doing this in your home practice, you could make it a lot of your practice. You could do 30 seconds and then try to work up to 60 seconds. And go ahead and come down. Can you step back from your wall or your railing? Step back about an arm's distance plus a foot. For the chair, go ahead and press the chair against the wall so that it creates, otherwise I think that if you have a chair for your safe, it might tip over. So walk yourself back. Don't use your hands, just walk with your body. Yes, walk back about arm's distance plus a little more. Now, from there, put your hands on your hip joint and then fold forward, flat back, hip hinge, forward, and then when you get to the end point there, then your arms come out. Keep your arms straight, and you may not, because it's hard for you to straighten your arms, you may be not back far enough, Kathy. So I would stand up. Don't make the adjustment there. Come back, stand up, come back a little farther, and try it again. The problem with making the adjustment after you've bent down is you're already compensating for not being in the right spot. So you want to start over again and try to find the right spot. Does this feel better? Yes? She nods her ponytail. Just stay here, breathe. If you want to, you can bend your knees a little bit and then straighten up again and see if you can find an even stronger hinge and a longer spine. Lift your head up a little, Kathy. You want it to be your head to be an extension. of your cervical spine to be an extension of your thoracic spine. And feel the work in the armpits. Bend your knees again. Come back up again. Feel a little bit additional length if you can. And then go ahead and walk your legs towards the chair or the wall and come out of this pose. And come to the floor. We'll close the class with my guided meditation, Yoga Nidra meditation. I'm going to stop my video because it's hard for me to look at myself while I'm doing this. So find your most comfortable spot. You may want to cover up with a blanket, depending on the weather. You can extend your legs or have your knees bent. You could have your legs up on a chair. And then just start to notice your breath. Close your eyes, notice your breath. In and out. The belly is coming, also rising and falling. Notice that. Pay attention to that. And now bring your awareness to the center of your eyebrows, the center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right big thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, right shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, left elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, right knee, right ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, left knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This concludes the 60-point guided meditation. Just start to pay attention to your breath. And you can extend your legs and bring your arms overhead by your ears and stretch in both directions. Try to create some space between your rib cage and your pelvis, the top of your pelvis. And stretch one side and then the other. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And finally, hug one knee to your chest and then the other. And then hug both knees to your chest. Rock from side to side. And then whenever you're ready, roll towards the camera, towards the screen. And stay on your side in a fetal position for a little while so you don't get dizzy when you finally do get up. And then use your top hand to bring yourself up to seated. If you want to close the class where you can see everybody, which is what I like to do and which I just did, what you need to do is unpin Kathy and click on gallery view. And then you'll have all of us in little windows. Your choice. Go ahead and
The sound. Can't hear you. Cannot hear you. Eric. Unmute yourself.
oh,
You have to unmute yourself, honey.
well, that I didn't realize it was that. I thought I was too far away, so I didn't catch that nuance. Thank you, though. I finally got it. Okay, let's close. So press your palms together. Nod your head, nod your skull over C1. We're bowing to each other, and we'll close the class by saying to each other, Namaste. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. Now, I'm going to stop the recording, but people can stay and ask questions or chat and stuff. I'm going to stop the recording.